Turn the page. Isn't that nice, that sound? That's what paper should sound like. Not like this. Not like, there's a piece of shitty paper. Where do I need crappy paper when I want it? I want paper to sound like this. You know, that's what paper's supposed to sound like. Okay, so what am I playing with today? Parker 45. I just found this in my collection of 45s. And I think this was actually in my collection as opposed to my pens for sale. And I thought, well, you know, I can really understand why people love these pens. And one of them is they're so lightweight, they're almost invisible in your hand. And there's something really kind of neat about that. I think they are the lightest pen out there. This one is heavier because it's the lighter. Where's my scale? This one, for some reason, this one was in my drawer of keepers, and I think it must have been because of the nib. There must have been something about this nib that made me think, I want to keep this. And if this were a nib on a Waterman, I'd say, my God, this is really a beautiful nib. It has exactly the kind of flexibility I want for this particular pen. And so, yay. It's actually quite, oddly enough, it's quite lovely. So back in my collection it goes. This can go back for the one that I'm selling. Another pen that I grabbed out of my sales bin is this thing. And I can put it back in the sales bin. It's warped. It's a 21 special or whatever they're called. The one that looks like a 51. I don't need that one. This one I took out of my sales bin and filled it up and thought, well, I'll play with this for a while. Occasionally, I will go into a drawer of pens that I haven't seen or paid attention to in many years. And I'll say, gee, this is fun. And then I'll learn to like the Parker 51 all over again, or the Parker 21, or the Parker Vacuumatic. Or there was a time recently when I picked up one of these brown. Is there a way to make this visible? One of these brown Schaeffers, striped Schaeffers, and I said to myself, I remember the first time I had one of these and how pretty I thought it looked. So then I went into the drawers of pens I have and selected a dozen and put them in my collection. Actually, I probably had 10 of them in my collection anyway, but I thought, well, I can always add another one. And it was just fun rediscovering a pen that you had forgotten about. And the same sort of emotions that were in my brain when I got my first one of these sort of flooded back into my little tiny head. let's see what else did I find? So this is one of the pens I used yesterday using waterproof ink. In fact, I used all of these are filled with waterproof ink. And I had them all working this morning. Let's see if they still work. Hello, Kim, how are you? So this one, okay. It takes a while to get it going, which I really hate. I don't like when it does that, but at least it's going. It takes a while. I think what happens with this ink is maybe it must dry out a little bit. So I'm trying not to dip it in water. Is this gonna, okay, I guess it starts. We'll run water over these to make sure they're still, I mean, I presume they will still be waterproof. But I'm gonna keep these pens here at the desk, and every day I am over here, I'll try to test them out to see how well they work. I think the thing is going to be, maybe I may not test for it, is this ink gonna corrode the sac or do something bad to the rubber sac? And I hope not. Say hi to Bega. Would you like to join me live, Kim? I'm not sure how long I'm going to stick around. I just saw that the thing was still, I'm on TV. You've got me on the big screen. I think I'll try to put these away, since put these in the drawer to put them back where they belong, just to get them cleared away. Perfect. These two things were in the drawer that are now have the pens, my little ivory folding ruler. Some elephant died for this, or walrus or something. And what died for this? But look, I've got that one and this one in brass. Hello, Ms. Marilyn. Would you like to join me live? Been a long time since. This says 100. Does this go to 100? This goes, oh dear. Is one missing? No. Yes. No. No, it isn't missing. This has a hole in it. So this goes to 100 as well. Goes to 11. Goes to 100. Aha. Why does it seem like the brass one has more ups and downs, more parts? They should have exactly the same number of ups and downs if they probably do. It just was an optical illusion. Yes, they do. Yay. They're correct. Okay, I'll have you come in a minute. Figure out where I'm going to put these so I don't lose them. Okay, let's see, cool rulers. Yeah, I have a collection of rulers and I need to, I don't know, do a video about rulers. In fact, right here in a drawer right over there, there's a bunch of them. And some of them are really kind of cool. They are rulers for dressmakers. And they have are for fabric people of some sort. They have degrees or percentages of shrinkage on them, so you know that the fabric will shrink, and then it will allow you to measure in advance. So this one, see, all of these rulers here go to 10 units, whatever units they are. So as you can see if you're measuring if you're sexting and you want to measure your junk, you use this ruler because it'll make it seem better than that ruler. What don't I have? I don't have lots of things. I don't have any shame. How about that? Have you no shame? No, I don't have shame. Okay, how do I add you? Add you to stage.
Well, hello.
Well, hello.
How are you? Said you were
You
talking
always
about rulers, and I was just playing with rulers. I was like,
well, of course you were.
I'm like, this seems like a very interesting coinkydink that we're having here.
But see, all of these rulers are made for people that bust measure. It's for measuring your bust.
I have a 6-inch ruler.
You have a 6-inch ruler for your bust. You don't need to have a bigger one than that, Marilyn.
Yep.
No. Now these are.
It's not a ruler, but it's a straight edge.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, though, the bust measure. So this must be used for creating
boobs,
clothing
holders.
But why would you? I need to look this up right this minute. Yeah, what don't I have? I've got this. This is an ashtray, believe it or not, an ashtray for, a dentist's office or something.
Don't tell Grandpa. He might try and put it in his mouth. I have
the weirdest crap. Let me just look up. Yeah.
I just recently got this metal ruler with the weird cork on the back, and I never understood these things up until I had to cut something.
Yeah.
I was like, why is there like this huge space? Because I tried cutting things with my plastic, and I just cut like some of the plastic off.
You just cut the plastic off. Yep. I could have told you that.
And like, I'm a brilliant scientist, you'd think, but I'm like, how do I get a straight edge on, like, say, this piece of paper? Oh, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. But like, how do I get a straight edge to, and like, I did the whole, like, the folding thing and the making it straight and then folding it back and forth. No, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is put the thing down and pull.
It does work. It does work. You just have to.
Almost a straight line.
You need to. You need to make sure that it's not going to slip. If you try it first, try moving it around on whatever surface you're using, because I'd hate to have you think that it's going to be
Right.
stable on the surface you're using and find out that it slips and you cut your fingers off.
I didn't even try, but now I know that I can do it with this plastic one. It's got a sharp edge on it. It's got a can't show you. One, there we go. It's got a sharp corner on it.
Well,
Like this one won't do it. This
I'm
one
finding all.
makes it
Yeah.
all jaggedy.
I'm finding all sorts of complicated. Look, it's like this is bust measurement. It's like the periodic table of the elements. It looks so
Right.
complicated.
It's like the BMI and the weight and the height and the
But again, with this, these are. I don't know if this is for making scale models of, like, where you're showing how well you can sew, but you're making it a half size for like a small mannequin. But anyway, someone will have to explain this to me.
Well, if I get any bigger, I'm gonna need a bra, so you better get on that.
I better get on that. Now, I do know how these things work. These are architect's scales, and you have this is a perfect example. So these are inches, and these, you flip this over, and this is 50 times that, so, or 50th. So here's 12 inches here. So if you're making a drawing of a house at a particular scale, where one inch is a foot, but now if you're using a different scale, then 1 inch is this big. So it's just a nice way of being able to draw the same building plan on the same size piece of paper. You don't have to get a huge piece of paper to do the work.
Okay, are you ready for this? All right, are you sitting down?
Yeah. You're going to show me something.
One of these things, and then I have one of these things, and it's
roller rulers. Yep.
But like, I don't understand these things.
Okay, that roller ruler. Okay,
yeah.
Put it down on the paper.
Okay.
Okay, put it. Okay, let's get a pencil out right now. Okay, it would be easier if you had the paper outside of that clipboard.
Oh.
Just take it off and put it on your table. Okay. Now take that piece, that plastic thing, leave it right there. No, you moved it. Move it maybe 10 degrees to your left. Make the angle
higher.
Okay. Now draw a line. Hold the thing very still. Turn it a little bit more to your right, Turn it more to your right. Rotate it more to your right. A little bit more. Okay, stop right there. Now don't move the ruler. Just keep the ruler there, and now make a line going straight down your page. Okay, now roll the ruler. Don't move it. There you go. Now make another line.
Okay.
And roll it again and make another line. And you do this for the entire page, and you've got your angle of your lettering.
Right.
That's all parallel.
Not that part. No, that's not that's not the part that I don't get. This thing down here.
Oh.
What is this about? Can I have some?
That is
why would you need something like this?
That is telling you probably that it's changing 1/16 of an inch to the correct number of decimal points. It does more than one thing, that machine. So
backwards.
So that it does more than one thing, Marilyn.
Okay.
But
clearly,
but the thing that you want it to do mainly is to make parallel lines for your lettering.
Right.
Yeah, it's just an easy way to do it. So
Who was in those?
that will tell you, that thing probably will tell you decimal equivalents to
Specific.
inch markings. So 1/16 of an inch equals whatever. 1/64 of an inch equals something. Probably is what that's doing, I would guess. Now, as usual, facts have nothing to do with my broadcast, so I may be entirely wrong.
Yep. This is a possibility.
Well, now you've broken it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't very well put together to begin with, so.
Well, put it
mean,
back. Put it back the way it was. Ignore that rolly bit. Just use it as a parallel line making device, and it should be fine.
Trying to figure out which. Okay, that is the way it was supposed to go in. I have another similar device I think you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. I have weird rulers for no apparent reason.
There probably is, in fact, a reason for every.
Do you have one of these things?
Yeah, that's what I just showed you.
Oh,
that's an architecture ruler. So that one probably says on the edge of it, it probably says 1/2, right? What does it say at the end? It goes to 9, goes to 6. So look at the other end, all the way at the other end. No, you turned it upside down. So turn it back the other way. Okay, what does
10.
that say there? 10. And at the other end of that,
30. 20. So 10.
Okay, so
20,
if you look at the 10, go to the 10 one again. 40.
60.
Okay, go to the 10.
Get
go,
the 10.
Go to the 10. Okay, put it down on your paper and make a line that goes from 1 to 2, from the 0 to 2.
Okay.
Make that line. Okay, now you flip it to the next one, which is 20, and you should go from 0 to 4.
4. Okay.
And it should be the same length. This, and then let's say you had you were hired to do a drawing of a person, right? And if you had that ruler, let's say someone gave you a photograph of their lovely cat. So what you would do, and you had to make it 3 times bigger than the actual photograph. So you measure this using the 3 scale, the 30 scale, and it'll say this is X number of inches or things long. Then you turn it to the 1 scale and you'll measure that line. So it's a way of enlarging or reducing when you're copying.
That's very interesting.
So that would help you if you have to do that. That scale, though, is made for an architect. And the architect, let's say the architect has his drawing of the billiard room, and here's his drawing of the billiard room.
Right.
But he wants to show the billiard room in the entire mansion, which is humongatoid. So he'll measure this on the big scale, and then he'll redraw it on the half scale. So it'll be half this size, and he can adjust the thing that way. Now that ruler, that's for fabric usually. Those are called fabric rulers, and I think they're transparent, or for quilters.
Okay.
So they're transparent, so you can put them on top of the fabric and mark where you need to cut them. Okay. And again, that what you're using right now, if most of the ones I have of those things, they're called parallel rules. They're used in navigation. They don't
Right.
have any marks on it at all. They're just a piece of metal with a
Okay.
ruler, and you
Right.
just move. What you use that for? Here's your map of the, San Francisco harbor, and you have north, and your compass is always going to point this way. So you have to you've discovered you're down here. So you take your ruler, you roll it this way, you draw your line, and you know where you're going to end up, and it just moves parallel that thing. So each of these rulers and scales and devices have numbers that are there for a reason. Most of the time, you and I don't need. We need a straight edge to make a straight line or measure something in inches or centimeters if we have to. We never need to use the slide rule anymore, even though we could. They're great. I've got a collection of those damn things. Here's one right here. This one, I can multiply pi times 2.5, and it would be 8.1, whatever. That's what this does. Don't you know how these things work, Marilyn?
I have used a calculator since forever.
Okay, well, this is like a calculator, but they're used for multiplying and dividing, and well, you're very wise. But when you look at pictures of NASA and the people in the control room landing people on the moon, they use these things to tell them what to do, or to get an estimate that's pretty good. They'll say you have enough fuel for another 3 days, and but they're really, really great fun. So
okay, you want to know why I bought this? Why the real reason that I bought this ruler?
Why?
Because I bought this ruler and I kept doing this,
turning it right side up and upside down, and
I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to come up at all. I'd have to slide it to the edge of the desk.
See. So you bought the ruler with the handle.
Yep, I got the ruler with the handle. All I needed was 6 inches. I'm like, this is perfect. I can just move it around. I don't have to worry about not being able to pick it up.
Well,
and
again,
I got this thing. This one is
that's
a new invention for me. I've never had a new invention. You want to see my old invention? Don't laugh on it.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? This was my old invention.
Okay, that's a square. That's for carpenters. You don't need one of those.
It has degrees on it. Has degrees on it. So if I wanted to do the 55-degree line, I could make the 55-degree line by
You don't want that though.
Flat. Huh?
You don't need that one. That's for a guy that's building a house. My brothers and I could have used that when we were building the deck last summer. Instead, we decided to kill each other. No. It's usable again for a carpenter, or mainly a carpenter. It could be used maybe in a machine shop, but you can. That's not accurate. You're right now. One of the fucked up things about that is it's not flat on the paper. It's raised up from the paper because that's meant to go off the edge of your board.
Right.
So you're already at a loss.
You have to use like a
no.
Very
Marilyn, throw that away.
It has like a square thing down there, and it's like sort of correct.
Yeah, I know, but now you have to put your point somewhere. Now that's better. So you have your point at the bottom of the bottom edge is where I presume where your point is. Now maybe your point is in where that doesn't work either, because your point
it's on the inside. I know.
It's on the inside of that dot. It's stupid. But
It's,
again,
well,
that's
if
not for
this one's
making a line.
kind of cool because you can see where the dot is
Yeah, but
inside that little hole.
that's for making, that's for measuring an angle. That's not for making an angle.
Right.
It's good for measuring an angle that already exists. But to make an angle, that one is not good, because you have the point where the two lines meet is covered up by that plastic thing.
Yeah.
You can draw it to make it
Yeah.
connect, but it's adding more work for you.
Right.
Normal,
Both sides of these things are the same. And if I put this at the 55 degree, then I should be able to come all the way down to the bit. And then see, this is the problem that I have. It curves in.
No. It's
the worst.
You can throw that away too. No, that one's good for measuring an actual angle that exists. That's what you use that for. To make an angle, you need a different protractor. You need one that looks like this, that has the angle right here. So it has the bottom of the rulers there. 0 is here, 180 is here. And then you go up from there. Right now, this point is up here, so that doesn't do you any good. I mean, it would be fine if it didn't have the thing covering the hole, the center of your circle, the center of your angle is hidden by that hole.
Right.
So Kim says 90 is easy. Use the 3-4-5 cheat. So that's the Pythagorean theorem, where you measure a triangle, a right triangle. Where, I mean, it's only a cheat when you have edges that are that long. You put them together, they'll be a right angle. But a right angle, the cheat that I use for a right angle is just finding any piece of paper that has not been cut up yet. It's, they come with a right angle built in. But but using squares and triangles, architectural tools, that they do come in handy sometimes.
Yeah. This one is in particularly nice because it has the flat line, and then when you
and it has a dot where you could put
proper
your pencil.
Yeah.
That hole right in the middle is where you start your line.
Yeah.
So that one's a better one for making, because you put your pencil in the hole.
Yeah.
Sounds dirty. Put your pencil in the hole.
My pencil doesn't fit in the hole. If I have a sharp enough device,
pretend you had a sharp pencil.
I can put my
put your pencil there, and then put one at the 0 mark, or at 180 or whatever, and then, well, don't move it around. You can move it around, but now keep it still. Put one at the 0 mark. Put another little point at the 0, and then put a point at 33 or 35, whatever. Now you can't move it. You moved it. You can't do that. What I'm trying to do is have you make 3 marks that will make an angle that goes down, that's 33 degrees. But you have to keep the device in place. You can't move it around.
Right.
So
the I'm using this here baseline. Because I already have a hole in it right there.
So
that's fine. Hole,
so put the ruler, so the 0 and the 180 are on that baseline.
Yeah.
And don't once you're done with that, now don't touch the ruler. Keep it exactly where it is. And now find, let's say you want to make a 45-degree angle, then you find 45 on your arc, and you put a pin there, pin marking there, or 55 or whatever angle you want. Then you've got those 3 points, and then you can make that angle. It's just again, for you as a calligrapher, chances are you need a ruler, you need a protractor, You need that parallel line making thing. That's handy. The other device you would really enjoy having is a proportional divider. You know what they look like?
You want to see the other roll that I have?
Okay. I don't know if you need it, but
Come on. Grab some. I got one of these.
oh, that's great. Okay, that's a template. That's not a ruler. That's a template.
Yeah.
But that's great.
Template that I got
So
from
that one-
Tool Art. It's acrylic.
That's great.
This one's
That'll work perfect for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for making all your parallel lines. So all your
Yep.
for your angles. The let me show you one tool that you might enjoy getting. one
Okay.
day. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay, that looks like shit. I'll do it again. Do it again.
So Marilyn,
Mhm.
one of the things I bought, of course, well, I didn't have to buy it, but I bought it anyway. It was a World War II Army map maker's case.
Oh,
So it had this board and it had this olive drab green case. It was bomb proof, this thing, and it was used to pin down the map on the board, and then you look through your binoculars and you make all your marks and you figure out where the cannons are going to shoot. And this thing came with it. See this thing?
what is it?
This is like the plastic one you have. There's no markings on it, but it's parallel, and it weighs
Right.
about 3 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And so as you're drawing your map and making the lines on your map that go north or whatever you have the compass point you want it to be,
Right.
and the bombs are blowing up around you, this isn't going to move very much.
No.
So that's why this is great. So this
Wow.
is the one that I have, which is what you've got. These are called rolling rulers or
Yeah.
navigation scales. I've got one that's up 18 inches long, and it's solid brass, and it weighs as much as my car. It's just
Kind of
but
heavy.
this one, yeah, this thing is the other thing you need. Ready for this?
What is that?
Don't get scared.
I'm not scared.
Look.
Oh, I've seen one of those. Those are cool.
And what
Yes.
these are for, let's say you hire me to calligraph a poem, a lovely 10-line poem, and you want it to be on a piece of paper that's 7 inches long. So here's your paper. Let's say this is 7 inches. And what I do is I take this and I count how many lines it's going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This has 11 points on it. So let's say I only want it to be a 6-line poem. So what I can do is I can see how much 6 lines will be.
Right.
Or if it's a smaller thing, I make it smaller. They all go together the same. Put them down, and then I make my lines, my little pinpoints, and then I get my roller ruler and I put the lines down. So I'm able to see immediately how big, how this will fit on the page.
That
and
is so cool.
it's called. This is made by Altender and Sons from Philadelphia, and they're called proportional dividers, I think. Let me just find out how much these cost new. They're like
Arms, a
$150.
leg, and half of an eyeball.
Um, uh, proportional divider. Who made it? Altender. Altender. Okay, here's one right here. Look at these. Oh, these are you can buy them for $12. I was wrong.
Wow.
So here they're cheap.
Now, are they just like pointy ends on the and they don't have any
they are numbered,
or are they like chalk or something on that you could put on the end?
they're only numbered.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So again, they're used for
checking the evenness of a space.
They divide something evenly, and I don't know. Someone's showing how they're used in measuring holes for a belt.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they might be they call them needed for leather craft.
Right.
So maybe that was what they're for. Stainless steel. But God, I thought that $12. Oh, see, here's one for $187. So this one is. See, this one looks like this, and it's so this is quite big.
Right.
So it opens up like a fence does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But each time you see how big this one is?
Right. Oh my goodness.
So this is for making marks that are exact.
Right.
On I mean, you can do it every 3 inches or whatever, but let's say you have a weird shape. You don't and you want to have 12 posts. So you put 12 on it. And so it's but this is really cool. What are they called? Let me just see. They're called equal spacer.
Okay.
But you should get one for your calligraphy because they do come in handy.
Well,
if you have to fit.
I have.
And you don't need the $185 one.
No. I have a really cool device that if I need to do calligraphic work on paper, I have one of these. You know
that's a light board?
It's a light board.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, Kim says he would use a drawing compass. Now, those are good too. A drawing divider will do this. But there you have to kind of know how many of those distances will fit in the piece, and you can do that by math. You can measure this. This is 10 inches long. I've got a 12-line poem, so they have to be 0.7 inches between them, or whatever. But that's
right.
math. This device allows you to see visually immediately sort of what you're dealing with. I have 13% on this device, and I have it plugged in. It's getting power, but it's losing power as I go. So I may have to. Math is good, he says. Yes, math is good. But see, that's great. Those light boards are great. I have one. Someone threw one out here the other day, and I got it.
Adopted it.
I adopted it. I have to show you something I adopted today, but it's kind of sad.
Oh,
You want me to show you anyway?
sure.
Okay. I thought it was something that I could use, and it turns out I could, but not for the reason that it was. Let me get it. So it's right here. It's a
Oh,
tripod.
the tripod. Yeah.
And I thought I could, put my iPad on top of this or an iPhone in it, and
Oh,
it would hold it steady. But
no.
this thing is not for that. I will try
What's
to
it for?
illustrate. I will try to illustrate. I went online. I found the name of the company. It's called D Grip. They cost $140, brand new.
Oh my
And
gosh.
this is what it does. Now, it's sort of sad. This is the sad part. So I'll draw
Okay.
it as if it was. So here's one leg. Here's another leg. Here's another leg, and then you've got that thing with all of the holes cut in it,
Yeah.
like that. They're grippy. They have little fringy grippy things.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it looks like.
Okay.
And then right over here, in a nice little basket with nice, a nice comfy blanket, is your cat that's not well.
Oh no.
And you hook up your medicine drip tubes
Oh
through
no.
these things and into the cat's mouth. And
Oh,
I thought,
that is the
and it's
saddest
just,
thing ever.
it's so it's so sad. And I didn't mean to laugh right now about this, but this building is full of lots of cats and lots of very caring and loving cat owners. And I have a feeling that one of the cats that was doing poorly has now gone away and is
Oh,
in cat heaven. So they put this in the free area.
right.
But again, when I looked at the pictures online to try to see how this was used, and I couldn't, I'm zooming in, I couldn't figure out what the heck I was looking for. And then I read the description of what it's for, and then it told me, and then I looked at the pictures again, and yes, I could see a cat in the background. But it's a way of getting nourishment of whether it's water or medicine into your cat's mouth.
Right.
Presumably your cat that's
Elderly.
catatonic, because it's
Yeah.
not going to want to sit there with this contraption feeding
Oh,
it. But
so sad.
it's really, really sad. So what are you saying, Kim? What pen is whose? The one I was using?
Whose pen is what?
He says, what pen is that? So this, I'll just say what this one is. You can say what yours is later. This is an Eversharp Skyline that has platinum carbon ink. And have you tried that ink yet, Ms. Marilyn?
Oh yes, I have 2 bottles.
Okay. And you find that it works well in your pens?
It works well in the Noodler's Conrad.
Okay. And you find it doesn't dry out, or of course you probably
Um,
clean it out all the time.
I mean, the last time that I've even put it in my Waterman pens. Shh, don't laugh. So
Okay, no, fine. I put it in my Waterman pen yesterday too. So
I'm like, it makes a really excellent watercolor.
okay.
Oh my gosh, like it's just so permanent. It's not going nowhere. I've
Okay,
also
good.
been really enjoying this new group called Octopus Fluids Draw and Art
Okay.
inks. They're colored inks, but they're permanent.
And they go through fountain pens or not?
Yeah, they go through fountain
Okay.
pens. Isn't that cool?
It is if it
I
works.
thought maybe you'd be interested in that
I mean,
because I know
I
sometimes you like to play with color, and
yeah, personally, I don't do it that way, but I know a lot of people that do. So if I can say to them, you can use this in a fountain pen, it's fine. So no, Kim wanted to know what pen you were using,
okay,
Marilyn.
this is a Noodler's Conrad. It's Noodler's Conrad, just simple Noodler's Conrad, the gray one. But I upgraded the nib. I upgraded the nib to a 14 karat Yovo
Okay.
semi-flex extra fine grind from fpnips.com.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's semi-flexible, and I have a full flex,
Good.
and it writes a very, very fine
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
And I have a full flex, but I don't like it because it's too flexible.
Oh,
It's
dear.
softer than Boinga Boinga, and that's pretty soft.
That's pretty soft. I was going to ask how Boinga Boinga fitted. I'm down. I'm now at 11%, Marilyn.
Okay,
So
well, it's really
I
nice
should
to see you.
I should sign off before it stops on me because then I'll lose the thing.
Right.
So Kim, it was nice seeing you. Nice seeing you, Ms. Marilyn. And
Have a good
make sure
day.
to throw that metal T square thing away because you don't need it.
That
Bye,
was my
everybody.
dad, so anyway.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
keep it. You have to keep it. Okay, bye.
Yep.
Bye bye.